want to talk about a common problem I see people having, which is they complain that they can never get from, once they get put on defense, they can't get back on offense. So maybe they start the match and they get their grip and it's going good, but once they get out of position and the guy's attacking, they can never get back to attacking, okay? So this kind of goes into the topic of guard retention and grip fighting, and there's kind of a crossover between the two. Okay, so when we think about grip fighting, right? Generally, people think of your opponent being like standing or on top, and you're sitting up, right? So we grip fight here sitting up, and this is really important because for you to launch any form of attack, you kind of need to establish some form of position that you attack from. So some common ones you'll see is like if I can get a sleeve or something, I can fall back and lasso, and I can start building like a spider game or collar sleeve, and you can build an attack series off that. Another one is like I might get the collar or something, and I can jump and start to establish like De La Riva, where I have the pants and the ankle, and you can build a game from here. Some guys maybe don't feel as comfortable in the open guard, so yeah. And then maybe you come in and get like a single leg grip, and you can feed a lapel. You know, this can turn into like deep half stuff. Also, some guys might go into like a reverse De La Riva kind of series. Right? And then some guys will even like, they attack from up here, like Marcelo Garcia does a lot of his attacks from sitting up. So you can attack while sitting up like this, or you can even be like kind of on your side with a hand on the floor and do like collar drags, like be here, collar drag or ankle kicks and things like that, right? So generally what you're trying to do is you're trying to start and initiate the grips you want to launch your attack. And I'll do more videos in depth on specific styles of attack. But then, sometimes you're going to mess up and the guy gets a guard pass attempt. Or maybe you get into a position like a triangle choke and you mess up, and then what happens is you do something and then you end up on your back in this kind of a situation here, right? Where you're just defending. Now from here, this is where there's also grip fighting, but a lot of people don't commonly think about this as grip fighting. But if the guy is close to me like this, I can't just sit up, especially if he's grabbing my pants or something. I can't just go, oh, I want to grip fight sitting up, right? So if you try to sit up, you're just too close. You can start knee cutting or doing some kind of pass, right? So we need to have that guard retention to do that. So maybe he does a Toreando attempt, right? And I defend once, and then we have to find this bridge where I try to, as I defend, look for some sort of tie-up grip. So if he's holding both pants, maybe I get both sleeves and I establish a spider grip. Or if he's leading with his right leg, like this, and he's standing close, I grab the ankle, and now I've established here. And this is where a lot of people get messed up because, if you watch my guard retention video, there's, when the guy starts passing, it's important to have these frames, like when you block your leg or get your elbow on the floor, or you post with your arm like this on the shoulder, and that kind of stuff is really important for defending the pass. But as you try to tie someone up, you start to lose those frames. So if I'm holding both sleeves and he starts to Toreando now, I don't have those frames. It's easier for him to pass, right? So I see a lot of guys, they really get mixed up in their head when they switch from offense to defense. So there's a whole skill set of knowing when's the right time to defend, and then knowing what grip is available to establish, right? So if he's Toreandoing or something, boom, and then I defend once I come back, and he's leading with the right leg, right, and he's close, then I grab the ankle, and now I've established De La Riva. From here, we can specific train this position, and I can start setting up all sorts of attack series from here, low guard, De La Riva, Barambolos, and all that stuff. Right? So what I would urge you to do is try to know, for one, know the grips that you like to establish. For me, I really like the sit one sleeve control, like a lasso, or an ankle grip is one of my starter grips, right? Someone else would maybe reverse De La Riva, like sit-up guard or a single leg or half guard, but you need to know kind of the positions you're trying to fight to, so that when you get out of position, you can know how to defend at the right time and when you can set up your grip, and try to find that boundary between defense and establishing your grip. One other thought about that too, is if I'm here, right, and the guy's crowding me, you're just close to this one, right, and the guy's just kind of crowding me and I'm defending, I can't just sit up, right? But also when he's close, he's usually available for grips, like the ankle or the sleeve. That's also why I think spider and stuff is so important, because often one of the first grip contact points you get, keep your legs back, one of the first grip contacts you'll often get onto your back is their sleeves. Because if their legs are back, I can't just get to their legs, right? So I often, a very easy way to control is to loop the feet over, and if he's hanging onto the pants, you can get the sleeves. And even if you don't want to play spider, you can use this to set up stuff to get to the leg, right? So that's a big one. But sometimes maybe you're on your back and the guy backs up a bit, right? And you have space. Then I always sit up, because I always prefer to grip fight sitting up. I just have my hands engaged. I can do do things, it's easier to attack and be offensive. If I don't like what the guy's doing, you can even stand up and then grip fight standing up, or do takedowns or flying submissions, whatever, right? But so I always prefer to be sitting up, but at the same time, when the guy gets over top of you, you have to address that that's a real problem, and you have to learn how to defend off your back and then transition to that grip control, okay? So in future videos, I'm gonna cover some like very specific stuff on like, okay, if you're under back, how do you stop the pass? How do you get to De La Riva? How do you get to the lasso? How do you build your game from that? So I just want with this video for you guys to start thinking about what are the positions you like to play and how do you get to them? And then also, how do you defend when you're on your back, and do you have answers for how to get back to your positions from bad positions? All right, guys, thanks a lot. So if you guys like the video, as always, like, share, subscribe.